Good afternoon and welcome into Drag Race Central. I'm your host, Randall Shue.
I'm your coach, Lane Shue.
Hey, I can't hear myself very well.
Hey,
there I go.
I can.
I turned it up. There I go. It's amazing what these little knobs in here do.
Volume knobs do a lot, don't they?
They do, especially when you can't hear squat. But here's the deal. I can't half see, half hear, or half walk. So I guess everything's just hunky-dory. You ever heard of hunky-dory before?
So does that mean you're just dead on your half side?
I guess so. Well, I used to go round circles now.
Yeah, there you go.
But this is our first Saturday with daylight savings times gone.
It'd be dark by the time we get off air.
It's terrible. Landon, I'll be in the basement or out in the yard doing all my stuff. I mean, I would talk about my pond, but I got a mud hole now. But out doing
you got a
stuff.
pile of leaves back there. Is what you got.
Yeah, and not even a nice one. But do everything you got to do, and tired. Went upstairs. It's 5:45.
I know exactly what you mean.
That is so depressing.
I know exactly what you mean.
But we got it done. But we had a good. What day was it when I came to your house? Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
Wednesday. We got out and bush hogged the pasture, making a go-kart track out there for the grandson. And
I'm a track owner.
Oh yeah, track owner operator.
Owner and operator. That's right.
Working on making it like a tri-oval or a
kidney shape. Yeah.
What's the other Nürburgring?
Nürburgring. Yeah.
Or Le Mans.
Yeah. No, I can do Le Mans. Le Mans is possible.
Well, how about the Grand Prix of Monaco? We'll go.
I have to flood my back section.
Yeah, but it's a lot smaller. But they still run 200 mile an hour.
No, what I'm wondering, I got a cousin who's been picking up dirt loads for I think $40 a load.
Uh-huh.
You think they'll come drop me off $40 a load? And that means he's receiving $40 to get a load of dirt, because they got to put that dirt somewhere.
Wait a minute, are you? He's having to dump it somewhere.
Yeah, they're having to dump it somewhere, and they're paying him $40 a load.
No, you don't want it, because there'll be some junk. You'll have trash. You've got a nice field. No, don't do that.
Yeah, I was about to say I could get some dirt up there. We can make a big hole.
You could, with a big tractor, go ahead and push that hill off into and you have it complete. You have flat track.
Yeah.
But it's too cool right now. So if that thing's going to end up being what, 500 or 600 feet around it?
It'd be good size. It'd probably be a quarter mile.
That's 1320. It won't. I don't know if you will. It's pretty good ways around it.
Now, realistically, I could do a 1320 around there.
But with some zigzags. So anyway, that's a project that is ongoing.
Look, if I already dislike one of my neighbors, and if I start disliking these other ones, I'll have a round track back there.
Or, hey, could you go up and run under their deck or something? Well, it'd be kind of out of the way, but you could run over there.
But yeah, so if I start disliking my other neighbors, I'll have a round track back at my house.
Better than that, cut the muffler off the go-kart. I remember you having a go-kart at the shop. After about, 600 or 800 times around the parking lot, I went to ask one of the guys, I said, are y'all as tired of hearing that thing as I am?
Is that before or after I hit that cyclone?
That's during that period of time. Most expensive thing on the lot. Landon nails it with a go-kart. Anyway, we survived that. But
somehow. Hey, you tried bush hogging that area twice.
What?
The shop. You bush hogged out there where the kudzu was.
Oh, okay.
And of course, you nailed the small glass on, I want to say, the newest car we had on the lot.
Oh yeah, I tore up some pieces. We decided not to do that anymore.
You said we weren't cutting grass anymore.
Yeah, this is a bad idea.
You slung a rock straight through that little C-pillar glass.
Oh, it was awful. But anyway,
I think the bill was $400.
It was bad.
And you were just like, I didn't even like bush hogging.
Anyway, we got that done. So that was a lot of fun. Anyway, we're in the process of building a go-kart track.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun. We got it all bush hogged, and
of course it's going to rain whenever I need to mow grass.
Well, that's all right. It's been so long since it's rained. Landon, the fish in my pond.
Are they going to grow legs?
They now are so close together they're holding hands.
That's good.
You can throw some food out there, and so there's still some of them survived it. I still haven't seen any dead ones. Of course, the animals may be eating them faster than I don't know. Anyway, but there are still some. There's still some light. Well, we have got some rain. There's probably been. It's come up probably a quarter of an inch.
Oh.
You know, I was telling somebody this pond.
You don't even have to stick that. You can put your finger in it.
Probably will hold 50 to 70,000 gallons. I don't know. You know, we had this pool that held 27,000 gallons, and it was small. And this thing holds a bunch of water.
Yeah.
Well, you need a bunch of rain to fill this thing back up.
Right.
Because it was minimum of 2 feet deep, and it 10 to 15 foot wide. That was almost 100 feet, and then 40 by 100 was the main part of it. So there's a lot of water.
Hey, what you need to do is get the county to lead their system off into your pond.
Well,
you know, they'll lead the system off every now and then. You let them put it out there in your back.
No, look, I got a better deal than that. I'm gonna sneak over behind Frank's house, my cousin,
You turn the water on.
and I'm gonna hook the water hose to his pipe and turn it on, walk off, leave it. Then a month or so, when he gets the bill, he's not going to be real proud of me. But it'd be funny, though, won't it? Thank goodness he's my cousin.
Where's your closest fire hydrant? Did you think about that?
I want to steal Frank's water. I don't want fire hydrant.
What I'm saying is that's unmetered right there. That's what you need.
Well, there's an old trailer that was parked over there, and it's derelict. There's nothing there. We could actually go over there and dig the water line up and just let the water flow.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody there
when
to turn it.
When it floods the area, it'll actually bring the water level up.
And it'll run down that valley right into my pond.
I'm thinking this sounds pretty good.
If I could do it at night where nobody catch me.
No witnesses. That's why we're telling it live on air.
Now look, we actually have Hottie is in the studio with us today.
Yeah, she's already talking about how she's going to get some sleep. Like this isn't the most exciting hour on radio.
This is exciting, and I know now she did have to work today down at the UAB.
Sorry, so do we.
Yeah, hey, I forgot about that. We're at work too. Okay. Anyway,
I'm gonna go over to her job and sleep next.
Now, she went in. She went to work at 6 o'clock this morning.
Oh yeah, we used to do that all the time.
I know it. We got smarter and decided to come in the afternoon.
Sure.
Hey, you ever think about we probably need to talk about some drag racing?
All right. Let me tell all the events that's going on this week. All right, now that that's over, what else we got going on?
No, Laster Mountain tomorrow, test and tune, and there's a small tire event. Assuming it don't rain, only 15% chance, high of 63-ish. So 15% chance of rain.
Is Bayleton still planning? My friends were having a track day up there.
Okay.
I don't know if they canceled it or not. Let me think. Let me check
it's
that.
63. Hey, if anything above 50 degrees, if it's a decent day, it's still a lot of fun. Just have to put on more clothes.
They are still planning to have the track day and car show at Bayleton Dragway next week, tomorrow.
Okay, so we got that and Laster Mountain going on.
That's right.
Now they had a big bracket race going on at Capital City, but it rained it out last night. Finally, it would come a little bit of rain, and they've got a new jet dryer down there.
Ooh.
This thing, they fire this thing up, it cleans the whole track in a little bit.
Yeah.
They get it dried up, it rained again. This went on till in the night, and people finally just bailed. And I think this was two or three $50,000 races. I mean, it was a bunch. I know the entry fee was $550 for all the events.
Nice.
But that's it's a lot of.
You said a small tire?
No, that's the bracket race.
Oh, okay.
Now tomorrow at Laster Mountain is going to be a $100 buy-in for the small tire event, and
Okay. Is this a prepped event?
Oh yeah, this is a real deal.
Okay.
Now, because not much racing going on,
Is all-wheel drive allowed?
these people don't care.
Good.
You just
That's what I call real racing.
bring yourself on.
That's what I call real racing right there.
But anyway, they'll with not much racing going on in our area, everybody who's anybody will be there. So that ought to be a great event.
So if John Forrest don't come, he's a nobody.
Long as he's got 10 fives, they don't care.
But I'm saying if he don't come, he's nobody, right?
I think he still is. Speaking of John Forrest, you and I were over in Atlanta, and we got looking for his trailer. We found his trailer and all.
We
He's
found his trailers.
There's 11 of them, by the way,
Yeah.
freight truck trailers, and we got to looking around. He said, "Hey, I got to go find my future daddy-in-law."
Yep.
His daughter's there. Hey, Hottie, Landon took a shine to one of his daughters.
Unfortunately, she got married.
Well, there's still another one.
I don't know this one.
Oh yeah, she's all right.
I can't remember the girl's name.
Ashley.
Ashley, that's right.
That's no Brittany. There's Ashley.
Ashley and
Brittany
Brittany
is the one that's left that's not married. How about
I'll think
that?
about it.
All right, NHRA going on. Pomona, the finals out in the Winter Nationals. Pomona.
You tell me there's pretty good.
Greg Anderson, 646 at 212, qualifying for the pro stock. Remember, this is 500 inches. They've restricted them to 10,500 RPM. There's a lot of restrictions on these things. They've gone to fuel injection. When they went from carburetors to injection, it cost them about 2/10. But they figured those out. I think when these are unlimited 500 inches, they were turning them 13,000 RPM. There's some guys had been in the 640s, but they finally backed down to this. And
on paper, the injection should be faster.
No.
On paper, it should be. I'm saying.
Well, carburetors are faster.
They are, but I'm saying on paper, there's more.
There's more controls and all this stuff.
Potential in injection.
But
they hadn't caught up with it yet.
In reality, carburetors are faster, make more power.
Right.
Because you got something called the latent heat of evaporation.
Mm-hmm.
When the gasoline changes from a liquid to a gas, it takes heat out of there, so it cools down, and there's a lot of stuff goes on with that.
Oh yeah.
In pro stock, that is Formula One for drag racing. That's the technology of these guys. 3 horsepower per cubic inch. Not many vehicles make that kind of power.
Hey, now my question is, with your sniper system, does that count as a carburetor or an injection?
It's injection.
Okay.
That's not the same thing as what they use, but it is.
Sure, it is.
It's very tunable.
You got almost double their cubic inch size too.
A lot. Not near the performance, because I also don't turn it 10,500 RPM.
Is that all we're lacking to run the 6s?
So should I just go into the 7531 box, 7530, whatever it is, and reprogram it to where the red line's at 10.5?
Yeah.
Put a whole bunch of gear in it and just go for the best.
That sounds good to me.
Leave the line at about 7,500 and go to.
We got spare blocks.
No.
We're gonna need a spare block.
And a lot of other pieces.
We're gonna shatter that block in half. But just imagine how fast you'd go.
Yeah. Does it pay extra?
If you win.
I guess so. All right, we're going to go out and take our first break. And when we come back, I promise we're going to talk about more racing. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back into Drag Race Central. We just did the commercial for MTO Motors.
I believe they're involved in some kind of racing organization.
Gassers, the
Southeast
Gassers. Todd and Ricky Jones and Ken Rainwater are they're real players in our area. In the Gassers deal.
Not in our area, not anymore.
Well, we know they're from our area.
They are from our area,
and they're working hard toward to getting at least one event. They've got the Gassers has one open date for next year, and what I understand is somewhere in March is where they got this date. We don't have anything.
I know
anything final yet, but there is a date available in March.
I know 3 tracks to be perfect. Any 3.
Who's that?
Montgomery Dragway. Or Capital City Motorsports Park.
They actually went there the first year they were at Montgomery.
Okay.
All right. Where else?
I-22 Motorsports Park.
Yep.
It's a great facility, and there's nowhere other track I've seen around that has a vegetable stand. You got to have a vegetable stand in track.
Yeah.
And also we get to sit in the tower for that one.
Yeah.
And the third one is Last Mountain Dragway.
Yep. So they're working toward getting it, getting back in the area. There's scheduling issues, and one of the issues when I heard March, March is may or may not because you just can't. First of March, it might be tough. Last of March, you might get away with it.
March to May.
There's the Ides of March. There's some
Yeah, a few
weird
of the Ides
stuff
of
going on.
March.
Hey, in Alabama, in March, it can be
Snowing or 75.
in '93, March 9th through the 12th, we had 18 inches of snow. We've had 85 degrees in March. You just don't ever know. So anyway, that's the open date they've got is sometime in March, and we're hoping the gassers will be back around because we need to set a new record. I believe it's a Gulfport. They think they set the attendance record at a gassers race. They wasn't sure how many thousand people showed up, but it was a crowd. Of course, Laster Mountain certainly has the facility for this, and the new operators of the mountain and the gassers are all getting a Rocky Platts, the guy who does all the scheduling. His dad was Hubert and Herbert Platt.
Okay.
Was his dad and uncle. So they're
Look, my favorite part of I-22 is Greg lets me sit in the tower. He says, go on up there, get you a seat.
He puts me to work.
Hey, that's not my problem. He tell me, like, anytime I'm over there, he said, well, look, you need somewhere good to watch, just get in that tower, get in a chair. They won't bother you.
Yeah. And
they don't make me work.
They make me work.
Now, hang on now. They made you work.
I know. I go up there, I get talking, can't hush. Well, you know.
You walk in there, you're like, all right, where's the microphone? Give it to me. Give me.
No, they said, hey, would you talk? Well, okay. Anyway.
I hadn't heard that conversation. I have seen you walk up in the tower and just like, all right, give me that.
I've done that. Well, you know, there's a Greg's mom. She's in the office doing her stuff. There's a young lady up there doing cards and all, and Scotty's doing cards. Something, and then they have to find somebody that'll talk. Well, I ain't doing anything. I get up there and just get to run in my head.
Oh, yes.
They asked me, do you know so-and-so? I said, yeah, I know him. As a matter of fact, I knew him before he changed his name to that. Huh? Oh, yeah. One of these days I'll tell you all about that.
Oh.
That was kind of funny.
We're going to have to wait a long time.
Yeah. You know, the cars coming around the corner and trying to tell you get some unusual pieces and make sure your spectators know exactly what it is, like Opel. Opel was a German car. Mm-hmm. And then it progressed. Then it became Buick Opel.
It did.
And then it became
Buick
Isuzu.
Oh.
And then it became it was Buick Opel, Opel Isuzu. Then it became Isuzu. So it went from German to Buick to Japanese. Same setup. So telling all the people, a Rambler will come around the corner. A Rambler, a lot of people. Hey, I was at the mountain. I've been going every Sunday and just having the best old time up there. I'm sitting over there close to the winner's circle sign, and that's at this point in my life, that's probably the only way I'm gonna get over by it. I'll sit there before the winner shows up. But anyway, there was a car came down, and I heard these guys behind me. Couldn't figure out what that was. They just on and on and on. I turned around and said, "That's a Maverick." They said, "A what?" It's a Ford Maverick from 70 to 74. They made a Maverick. Oh, the confusion on their face, and then it wasn't 5 minutes later, another car came down. Look at it. It was a Falcon, about a 67 or 8 Falcon.
Yeah.
They've never seen one of those.
Look, I saw a new vehicle today on the way here, Marketplace. It's a Daihatsu Midget 2. And, I'm used to the MG Midget, but I'm not used to the Daihatsu.
Okay. How about a MG Bug-Eye? No, Bug-Eye Sprite. Mm-hmm. No, it's a Triumph.
They have the Triumph and the Bug-Eye Sprite. actually look the same.
There was it.
But
the Bug-Eye Sprite
was a sub-bottle.
A brand of something. Ooh. MGB.
Yep.
MGB GT.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. There's some.
You forgot, I grew up with you. You showed me all of them.
All right. There's a Cobra. A Cobra fiberglass one bracket car had been coming to the mountain. He'd been trying some stuff out. There have been some dragsters. We've had a strong group of vehicles, and let me tell you, there's one thing went down the track last Sunday.
Yeah.
That has never been down the track that I know of in my 40 plus years ago. As a Maserati went down the track, I was in it.
What'd she go?
went slow.
What's slow?
950.
Hey, 950 is a number.
No, this is a mid 8-second car.
That's a strong quarter mile time.
Yeah, but it's a mid second. It spun real hard. Then the traction control came on. So it's going to be 860, 70.
Launch, yeah.
And biggest issue, the right hand lane did not have mile per hour. A mile per hour is more a indicator of what potential ET potential it has.
Now look, something else you could consider you could do. You could always neutral slam it.
It is neutral slam. Because this thing, you put it in gear, nothing happens. You give it gas and it takes off. Weirdest thing I ever driven.
You got staged up on the brakes then, I guess.
I guess so. No, that's what I did. When I stomped it,
you need to neutral slam it then.
When I stomped it, the clutch grabbed and it just fogged the tires.
Sweet.
So what I need to, I only did it once.
Burnout in.
I didn't do a burnout either.
You going on there with wet tires.
I went around the water.
Okay.
But I've got to make several passes. It was late in the evening. I thought, well, I'll just try it one time.
It was a junk track.
No, track was wonderful.
Well, it
was me.
Might have been used up by then.
Cold tires. There wasn't no heat in them at all. No, it was all my fault. But hey, it's going to be a 40 to 60 cars. It's about what this thing will run.
Okay.
I'm just guessing, but
you think it's going to be ready for sick week?
I think we've got something called the sick ward. We're going to the sick ward.
Sick ward.
Sick ward. We are actually going to take the motorhome down to Orlando. We're not going to take a car. We're just going to use a.
Didn't you buy a car just so you got a sick weekend?
You can't go by that. Hey,
look, when y'all were gone on sick week, I guess I might have to make sure that somebody keeps some miles on the car.
Because if it sits over 5 days, the battery goes dead. You ever seen a car that came with a battery charger?
Yes.
This car
Yes,
comes. There's one in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many electronics things on this thing. If you let it sit, the battery will go dead.
Volkswagen has that as well. You can't let them sit for too long.
Battery in the trunk. Oh, I guess they're supposed to be wonderful.
I guess I'll put some miles on your car while you're gone.
Make sure it's full of gas.
Raid your kitchen.
He already done that, and the tool bin. Junior came in.
You hadn't disclosed this week's haul.
Got 2 weird wrenches.
Yep.
And what was the other thing?
2 half-inch wrenches, heat gun.
Oh, and the heat gun.
Hitch pin clip. O-rings.
See, the hitch pin clip, that don't bother me. But the wrenches, there's hundreds of them. But the heat gun, I will get to looking for it, and I will not remember that you got it. I'm going to have to borrow
for at least 2 weeks.
So what I'll need to do is I put a tag where that thing stays. I put in there where you put your picture on it.
Okay.
That way I'll know.
You get some IOUs over there?
I need
IOU one heat gun?
Well, at least I know. I don't care if you have it, as long as I know where it is.
I'm going to borrow it for 2 weeks. I got a wrap coming in for my lip.
Oh, okay.
And
you're wrapping your lip. Now, wait a minute. Let me tell you. That sounds a little bit perverse.
Okay. Front diffuser.
Okay. Well, honey, if you're wrapping your lip, something's going on.
I'm wrapping
you need to talk
front
to
diffuser.
Holly about. I don't know.
And I ordered a certain companies, and if it's not any good, I'll know to peel it off while I order it because I need 2 of these.
Oh, okay.
And so I ordered one, and if it's not any good, then I know not to order another one.
That'll work. Going on right now, the Orlando Street Nationals. Paul Gargas is the #1 qualifier. Jason Collins, I think he was #1 in their class. We used to go to the Street Nationals. I think the first 7 years I went 5 times. Always a great event. They're really, Carl Weisinger had it. He really put on a good deal down there. And,
is that the one you have the tags from?
Yes.
Okay.
Carl passed away several years ago, and his son tried it. But that event really moved to South Georgia. They really took over. South Georgia Motorsports Park took over. But the thing at Orlando was just incredible. Now they, if you're watching the YouTube videos, here's your little deal. Watch you do YouTube videos. There's a big wall behind the burnout area. It says Orlando Speed World, the whole deal. The story behind the wall is on the other side of the wall is the neighborhood. So I think that was a noise barrier for the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
And they've done a good job, and it used to look kind of kind of cheesy. But anyway, let's go out and take a half-hour break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Well, that kind of hits home, don't it, Landon?
No, you're telling me your Maserati's not going to the track after I got you talked in to go in and test drive it?
Well, I don't know. Between now and January the 26th, I believe, is on a Saturday. I talked to Rick and Adam. That's the day they're going down. I thought, well, they're going down and sign up and all that's the 27th, and the 28th is the first day and all that. So
I need to borrow your tractor around that time.
Okay.
Just as I need to borrow your box blades for that.
Okay. We got to fix that thing.
Yeah, because I got to use it to till.
You can't till the box blade.
What am I looking for? Your tiller. Not the small one, the one for the tractor, for the big areas.
Yeah.
I need that.
I don't have a rotor tiller for it. I've got that scratcher-looking thing that will just it'll dig up.
We'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you just whatever
I'll
you want.
borrow that around January.
Okay. Whatever.
That's
you
when I
want.
was told to do it. That's when I'm going to do it.
Okay. And you just keep on and on and on doing it, and it'll end up good and smooth.
Nice and turned.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll go down Saturday. No, we talked about you and I leaving. I'm talking to Hottie. We're leaving on Friday afternoon after she gets off work. We'll drive, 4 or 5 hours, 3 hours. We know till get tired, find a Walmart, spend the night. There you go.
Nice.
I would. And there's actually, my cousin Lee got told me, and there's actually a name for them. The people who spend the night in Walmart not inside Walmart, in the Walmart parking lot in your RV. But they've actually got names for them.
Yeah.
And I've got to find out what they do. When he said it, I thought, that's funny. Anyway, so we'll find us a Walmart. I mean, she's a hot chick. Nothing but the best. I'm talking Walmart parking lot. Life is good, don't you think? Okay. So anyway, we'll go down, and that'll put us getting to Orlando Speed World at
Lunch
1 or 2 o'clock-ish. Yeah, something like that. If I can get her up where she can cook me some breakfast. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, look, I'm a little different because of my young age. I travel a little bit differently. So that's what I'm telling him, at least. On my trip, I'm going to drive 9 hours next Friday. And when I get there, I'll stop about 20 minutes out, and I'll change into my night clothes because I'll be in my pajamas the whole way there. My pajama pants and drive. And then when I finally get close to there, I'll go change into some respectable clothes.
Whatever it takes.
That way, when I pull up, it looks like I'm not as well dressed and everything, and just changed in some gas station bathroom.
What? Hey,
that's what it takes.
Guy got to do what a guy got to do.
That's what it takes, man.
So anyway, that'll be coming up in January, and we're going to try to give a live report from then.
Hey, speaking of that, you'll have to get you a guest on for next week.
Yep, we'll talk. I've talked to Chris about coming on, and we'll get Chris up here, and he's ready to make an appearance. He hadn't been on here with us in a while. We've been a little bit busy, so I'll talk to him.
You have to show off the Maserati to him. Has he seen it? He probably saw the track yesterday, didn't he?
He is the one who told me about it.
I'm talking about
since he got it fixed. Oh no, he hadn't seen it.
He went to the track yesterday. He slacking?
No, he didn't make. Let me tell you, he called me the day after I bought it. He asked me, did I have buyer's remorse? I said, no, I've been driving it. He said, no, it's got a bad transmission. I said, no, it don't either.
Had some trash in it. Just had to be cleaned out.
I fixed it. Well, I'm a mechanic by trade.
Yeah, you are. You do have your masters and all.
A whole 2 of them, but anyway, that's got nothing to do with it. Not in Maserati though.
No.
I can't even spell Maserati.
General mechanics.
But hey, I figured it out. I am equipped with the brain, so I figured that out.
Yeah.
I had an incident this week. I think it was Thursday, I believe, Thursday or Friday. I saw my old buddy named Richard. Richard and his buddy Tommy. We all always come to track and all. Tommy had a SS Monte Carlo, and anyway, they called me. Hey, we're going. You want to go racing Sunday? Well, yes is the answer.
Now, hang on, let's roll back. How many years ago was this?
This has been 15.
Okay.
I think I had the Datsun. Yeah. Anyway, whatever it was, they said we're going. I said, where are we going to go? He said, right down below Brent. Well, if anybody knows about Alabama, you go to Holiday Beach, go past Holiday Beach, take a left on Highway 5, and, Brent's, 15, 20 minutes. Okay, I'm good with that. So we met at Richard and Tommy, they all got together, and we met at a convenience store just after you turn on Highway 5. So we all met at the same time. Everything's good, going, got our snacks. So we get to ride. We got to Brent. And I keep thinking in my mind, where's the drag strip down here? I mean, I thought I knew every drag strip there was. We drive, and we drive, and we drive. I finally called Tommy. I said, hey, man, where is this? Oh, just right down here. Okay. And we drive, and we drive. Paul Bryant Jr. has got catfish farms down in South Alabama. Well, I knew that. I didn't know exactly where there was. And we're riding along. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of catfish farms. Wait a minute. This is Paul Bryant's catfish farm down here. Highway 5 runs out into this other highway. Anyway, when we turn right, it's kind of a angle to the right. Just back up to highway speed, there was a sign that said Mobile 69 miles. We in South Alabama. So we get down, I believe it's the Marion Institute, the Marion Military Institute, and Judson College, which Marion's all male and Judson's all female colleges. And I heard a woman say, in a dead run, I can be over in 4 minutes. But anyway, this is a female said that. But you went past the entrance of those, you come to this big intersection. There was this big pulpwood plant. I don't know, it's a big wood mill of some sort.
Mill, yes.
And you take a left one out there, in front of it, turn right into this neighborhood. And I'm following Tommy. I hadn't got a clue where I'm going. Sure enough, went through this neighborhood. About a half a mile after, it popped out into a drag strip on the other side of this neighborhood called Yellow Bluff.
Okay.
Got in. Harold Pennington had put the timing system in. I don't know about this place. So we stayed there most all day, and I'm thinking, man, we went up. But first thing Tommy does is pull the grill out and start grilling some knockwursts. I don't care what happens, we good today.
That's it.
Fed me good. Well, we stayed around there, and the racing was, Tommy had him a couple of races, and the guy come over pickup truck said, if you'll take the nitrous off that your car, I'll run you. I said, well, sounds great. You take the left front wheel off yours, and I'll run you. He said, well, I can't run out without a left front wheel. I said, well, I can't run without nitrous. So anyway, I never did give me a race. So this was midday. Sometime during, it got over. There's no lights at this place at that time.
Yeah.
So we all decided we started home. Well, I had a full tank of gas when I left going down there. And, a truck pulling a trailer, you're going to get 10 or 11 miles a gallon is all you're going to get. We was driving right. Well, on the way home, I began to need gas. And it is, I don't know how far it was down there. Got to be 200 plus miles. So I got one eye on the road and one eye on the gas gauge, and that baby is getting low. So, I've never been down there before. I don't know exactly where I am. Didn't have GPS on, and I'm assuming I had it, but I didn't have it on. And I get to worrying about run out of gas. But this old truck I had a 42-gallon tank on a little Ford. So when you get low on fuel, you still got a lot. Anyway, this baby was on empty. And I don't think I could have started a forest fire with the amount of gas I had left in the tank. And I'd already decided that I would, if I ran out, I'd just pump what was in the race car out and put it in the car, and it'd certainly run on that. It'd be kind of expensive, but I wouldn't be walking. So we pulled into, I think, Brent. From Yellow Bluff to Brent, there wasn't a store. I don't think there's anything that had a sign on front of it. Most desolate area. You could put your lights on bright and ride for 2 hours and wouldn't have to. There's no traffic either. About 10 o'clock, we pulled into the community of Brent. I finally found a gas station. We pulled in, and they were turning the lights off. We begged the lady to leave them on till we got gas. I was out. But that was So me and Richard was laughing about that we'd made it. I said I hadn't been back to Yellow Bluff either.
Have not.
So
You down in South Alabama?
man,
huh?
I was away. So that was so when you agree to go to a track with somebody,
Let's get a physical
make
location.
sure exactly where you're going to go. Hey, these great guys. We just had the best old time, but still, I was just about walking down there.
Just about walking back, yeah.
Got to say, remember today is Veterans Day. We honor our veterans of armed forces.
Absolutely.
Some of the things we're going to talk about. We're going to do some technical stuff today, and
There's some more lingos.
in our last segment, we will. We've got 3 or 4 minutes until we go on this break. Box and no box
Yeah.
events. A box is a delay box. Delay box hooks into the trans brake. We talked about trans brakes last week. You put them in low gear. You mash an electronic button. It applies reverse. The car will not move. You let go of the button. It takes off. Fine and dandy. Well, as we age and the way your vision is in daylight and dark and all this, you can alter this box by changing numbers in it and make your car leave consistent. So a young person, your reaction time is going to be much better than an older person. Well, this thing, you just dial some numbers in and you can be competitive even at age. That's what boxing. They have a box race. That's the pro cars, and they also have a no box race or foot brake. That's when you can't use a delay box. Yeah.
Okay.
The first time I used a delay box,
Dragster.
I let go of the trans brake. Nothing happens. I thought, oh, what? And then this thing took off. Scared the crap out of me. What in the world has happened? I've never done it. You let go of trans brake, car's supposed to move. Nope, not with these things. So it had a delay in it.
Yeah.
That was strange.
It shocked me the same way, I promise.
Now they've got a deal where you go wide open throttle, and the engine will not go up on the two-step. It will not go up to speed. So when it starts counting down, the computer will automatically raise the throttle and then do your delay.
Nice.
Because you get up on trans brake at RPM, you're building a bunch of heat, and the torque converter will balloon. We have anti-ballooning plates at the back part of the torque converter, but it'll still swell because you're taking 100 and something. Well, no, 220 pounds of pressure, and that is 220 pounds per square inch. And you may have 60 square inches of area, so there's some movement.
Absolutely.
So that's what's going on. Tell us about somebody who brought us here today.
We got Ray's Drive Shafts, located 1417 Decatur Highway in Fultondale, Alabama. Ray's is your man. You need a drive shaft made for your needs. Any kind of rotating tubular assembly, he is your guy.
Propeller shaft.
Propeller shafts, that's it. Give him a call down 256-572-7485, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Sounds good. We got VP Fuel. VP is going to be everywhere. Seek Week,
Very important.
VP Trailer follows the event.
That's very important.
About that. Well, we're going to go ahead and take our last break of the day. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back to Drag Race Central. Landon, let's talk about some good VP fuel.
Very important fuel, huh?
It is protecting your engine.
That
will
is
make
very
extra
important.
power, but main thing is protect your valuable investment.
Vice President Fuel is your guy.
It is, that's very good stuff. It is, I hear people so much, I hang around up Gardendale Performance quite a bit, and
which is fortunate because they actually sell VP Racing Fuel there.
Yep, I'm one of the fixtures, and people come in, I want this. What do you have? And they'll.
You're a fuel advisor.
Well, I mean, I have some knowledge of it.
That's what I'm saying. You're a fuel advisor. You're advising people on their fuel usage.
Bracket cars, 110 is very good for a bracket car. You're using large volumes of it, and you got to be cost conscious. but you still got a good motor. So you want to make sure you use VP stuff, and they'll use quite a bit. Now, your alcohol, those guys use a bunch of fuel, because VP has C85 and X85 for the E85 stuff. They've got that. The M1, M5 alcohol, 110, 113, C12, 25, 24. Okay. And the T fuels are for motorcycles. They've got lots and lots of stuff.
I have one question though.
Okay.
Do y'all have 117 octane?
No, our buddy Brandon's the only one that did that.
He's the only carrier of 117 octane.
That boy ain't right.
Off-road, I mean not off-road. Wholesale transmission is your carrier for 117 octane.
That's right. Don't take no for an answer. Call Brandon. I'll move
Brandon, somewhere in the back, you demand to see that 117 octane. Pick up 50 horsepower.
But only if you got a Pontiac motor.
Yeah.
That's the only time it's any good.
You got a Pontiac motor, don't you?
I don't know if those are Pontiac heads on.
Is it a Pontiac or Oldsmobile?
I think they're Pontiac. They're GM heads. Well, it's got a GM part number that somebody else did. I don't know.
I got a Pontiac.
Yeah. Oh, you actually do.
No, it's a Holden.
Yeah,
it's a Holden with a front bumper.
I guess you're right. But anyway, VP, you buy the product, and it is for engine protection, because you pre-ignition detonation, that will tear your stuff up.
Yes.
For years we were talking about my valves are rattling. Well, the noise is not. The valves are not rattling. That's what we call it.
Yeah, it's not a thing. They don't just rattle.
But that's what it was called, the valves rattling.
Yeah.
Well, what it is, the piston, you got uncontrolled combustion, and the piston is rocking side to side.
Yeah.
You've got, so on a maybe 3/1000ths of clearance. Oh, well, what 3 5/1000ths clearance. The Ford's piston generally was a little bit more, but the piston was rocking. So if it's 3/1000ths, there's 1.5 thousandths of clearance per side, and that thing's rocking so hard that you can hear it rattling. You hear cars coming down the road with the valves rattling. But anyway, so that is damaging. It breaks pistons. It does a lot of stuff. And what is happening on the combustion stroke? The piston's on its way to the top. In pre-ignition, it ignites before it gets. Now you've got we got setting the timing. You're actually setting ignition lead. How many degrees of lead before top dead center that the ignition process starts? Well, if it starts too soon, the piston's on its way up to the top, and the combustion hits, and it tries to drive it back down the cylinder.
Very common in diesels, but that's about it.
Well, that's the way they work. It's a compression-fired motor. A diesel motor, dieseling. Wait a minute, that's the way it works.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
But they're also, you have to set the injector timing on diesel also.
Yes, you do, because otherwise, you'll blow the crankshaft out the bottom.
It won't do what it's supposed to. All that stuff's important. So your poor quality gas, missed adjustments, and all that stuff can cause the pre-ignition and detonation and all these kind of things. And if you've got a pump gas motor, 93 octane, 91, 93 octane, the consistency of VP is something else that you will enjoy.
It is.
Pump gas.
When they say it's 110,
it's exactly
it's
that.
110. It's
Consistency.
It's either 19 to 111. It's like a 1 degree.
It's a consistent fuel.
Right.
You go to the gas station and buy fuel. You know what you're buying. There's no way to tell what you're getting.
That 93 might actually be 87.
Who knows?
But you can test it. It is possible.
I suppose.
They do have those oxidation kit testers.
I know. But anyway, nobody's got one. But anyway, with the VP fuel, it's a consistent product. You know what it is. So buy you some. Tell some locations.
Hey, they got MVS Auto, DG Motorsports, Gardendale Performance, as you brought up, Off-Road Connections, and Coleman Discount Muffler. They also have Bales and Dragway, which if you're making your way up to that track day tomorrow, which I guess it's always track day for them because they are a track, they sell VP there. You can get you some good quality fuels. Pick you up a pamphlet if you need to look over all the different options they got.
That's a good library reading.
There
You
you
guys
go.
know what the library is.
We read it for a couple months after they came on board with us.
That's right. Well, you need.
Hey, really is you can never be too educated with what you're using.
Yep.
Read
You're
a
making
pamphlet before you just go buy something.
make an informed decision.
That's
That's what
right.
it's about.
That's how you ended up with 3 different fuels at your house because you figured out that one
Well,
motor needed one thing,
both
another
cars-
motor needed another.
Yeah.
Different fuels for different uses.
That's it. And protecting the engine is what we're after. To replace either one of the engines, ouch,
Yeah,
double ouch.
right.
Anyway,
Well worth the fuel
We're
bill.
talking about building a garage for what one of these motors costs.
Oh, I know.
We talked about some of the technical stuff. Gear ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Always gear a car for the mile per hour you need to run, and you make everything else work with it, like the torque converter. If you gear a car, say a 6.0 car that runs 6.0s in the eighth, it's going to run 111 to 114 miles an hour. But if you set a gear ratio up at 7,000 RPM, if you do the gear ratio and it won't run at 96, you're going to tear some pieces up. But if you set the gear ratio and you roll out, and there's all these things make a difference. If you set the gear ratio and roll out, that's tire height times 3.14 to give you inches. If you get it to where it'll run 115 or 18 miles an hour, that's actually what you need. Just a little bit of fluff.
Now you got a calculator, old slide rule.
I got a slide rule. I also know how to do it on a calculator.
Slide rule is still the coolest.
No, doing it, sitting there, somebody talking about it, and you do it on a calculator. So no, this is how fast. They thought, where'd you learn to do that? There you go. It's RPM divided by gear ratio times rollout divided by 12 times 60 divided by 5280 will give you how many mile per hour. That's assuming no converter slippage. You always do about 4 to 6%. You take the final speed times 0.945 will give you what potential at X RPM is.
Right.
So that's kind of the way it works, and it's not near as complicated as it sounds. But you little slide rule, and also you can go on the internet, Wallace speed calculator.
Mm-hmm.
They've got all that stuff available for you on the internet, but I know how to do it on calculator. It's still
I want to see you
the
count.
cool factor.
You got to see you count on your fingers. Do it old school.
No, this is a bunch. To
gonna need
do
some- you're gonna need
long
some
division, you be there a week because there's some long numbers on that.
Yeah.
So anyway, Wallace speed calculator, or but you always gear for the mile an hour you need to run, and make your converter and the gear ratio in the transmission. A Turbo 350 has a 2.52 first gear, and a Turbo 400 2.48. It'd be 2.52 times the rear end will give you your first gear ratio. It's going to be like a 900 to 1.
Hey,
So-
I got you a question. Now we're talking about all this.
All right.
How do we figure out the RPM of my diesel,
What do you mean?
the RX-7? If I wanted to put a tachometer on it, how?
The factory tachs on Isuzus were actually run off the alternator.
Okay.
Uh,
How? If I went and bought a tack today, how would I wire that? Do you just wire it up to the alternator?
No, I would put a deal on the crankshaft, a magnet on the crankshaft. When it came by, it would give you the indicator,
Okay.
and that'll give you an RPM. It's a little bit harder because you'd have to calculate the alternator ratio because the crankshaft pulley is larger than the alternator pulley.
Okay.
So you're actually overspeeding it. But that's the way the diesels worked on Isuzu trucks originally.
I need to figure out a way to put a tachometer on this thing, and that's one of the questions I had to ask you was how.
A magnet on the balancer with a proximity switch or a crank trigger,
Okay.
and every time it comes by, it'll generate a signal,
Okay.
and that would be the way to do that. Now, a proximity switch from a place like Granger is a lot less expensive than one from a race car shop.
Right.
You had to go buy a crank trigger. That's pretty expensive. But proximity switches are very inexpensive. But you can get that stuff from Granger's or most of your industrial supply houses will have that kind of stuff. So hey, I got a new tachometer in our basement. You hadn't even seen it. I got a brand new one.
You mean I got a brand new one?
I hadn't opened that box yet. Hey, guys, go out and do some car stuff. We've enjoyed it a week. Just remember, the older I get, the faster I'm going to be. We'll see y'all next week on Drag Race Central.